I don't know, concluding facts. Walking round Covent Garden as the daylight had faded after the Olympics. So the last time I saw it was during the Olympics when it was quite alive. However, there were no Londoners like really up there during the Olympics. Like even the people that were helping out were foreign. Um, the streets are just full of foreign youngsters. And like going down Regent Street was like walking through Oliver. It was the level of intensity of the pickpocket. I don't think there wasn't a person who wasn't a pickpocket on the high street. Covent Garden was sad though. There's like no life. There's no soul. Most places like the water looks like the damp's like got halfway up like the building, sort of the colour of the stone. And you can just see it when you walk into Covent Garden from the station, and then you go right. If you go that way, and you've got those glass doors leading to like a shopping thing or whatever. It just looks like it's going to be amazing underwater. And that's what they've done at Carnaby Street. So like they've made like loads and loads of new pieces of artwork all around London that are going to look really really good underwater and sort of classify how human beings got to this point. So if you can go that far, you can kind of get the mentality of people as you're walking around. And I'm not sure, but they got rid of all the old English families before the Olympics. So all the old English families in council housing in inner city London were moved out before the Olympics. So at the moment, what I have living in London is a whole lot of displaced internationals. I don't know. Lots of, but from what I don't know. I don't know. I do know that when we get flagged up that a family has been burnt on the news, I know that that's not the one off. That's a highlight of okay. They're quite a big, huge part of the population, though, aren't they? In quite a lot of first world countries, and they're all systematically doing the same thing. So all of them systematically, the sweeping statement, a percentage of them, the majority of the baby boom era, which does cover like 35 years historically speaking. Um, it's not. It's about accepting old age gracefully, isn't it? Really. I have a huge problem with society today when you've got to go, oh my god, that child had its head shaved for cancer or something. And you're like looking at them going, you what? Well, because if lots of those people weren't alive using up vital resources, then I wouldn't have to annihilate an awful lot of young men, probably. They're normally the first to go. They're normally the first to opt into it. When life gets bad, they don't mind giving up, young men. Which means I'm then stuck with a group of homicidal women sometime in the future that haven't got enough boys. Meanwhile, I have no cigarettes, and I've got to pretend that I'm what? A waste of space, and I'm lazy, and I'm not capable of doing anything, and I've done nothing my whole entire life apart from make mistakes. Um, what else have I got to apologise for? I remember coming home from New Zealand the first time with Tony and Brad with that whole album. So like the place that I'd worked for, they'd all got together and they'd photographed the entire centre. Like they'd all photographed themselves. They'd all written postcards to me telling me how much they'd miss me. And I come home and my mum goes, "We want you out the house." When I was pregnant with Jamie, I didn't even want to drink because I wasn't drinking. And my mum told me not to be so stupid. While she was chucking me out the house, she told me not to be so stupid. And then they never once did they ask me about stuff I've done. Don't ask me what I did at health camp with all those kids. Don't ask me what I did at PGL. So I'm in Beatrix Potter's old summer house. I'm round the corner from where the Queen's establishment is. So every time we drive down to go on the booze run, we might as well wave hello to the Queen. That's pitlockery. Go get a job. I don't know, Dad. Have you seen my CV? It's more a list of great place names than anything else. Keep on getting these echoes of people going, "You're on. We won. We won yet? She won?" Then I think I must be hearing things. But so far, what we've got coming out of the songs is that there's an awful lot of the population that are hearing drum beats. And that comes out again in Doctor Who. As does lots of things that I am spouting off about old people and come out in Doctor Who. We've got the Cassandra piece of stretched skin, haven't we? Sort of thing. And we've got the time when they're all on the capsules just looking at the burning earth. Because that's where everyone's ploughing us. Apart from me and my crowd who are trying to. But I do my stuff on my own and they just copy me. I want payback for every scheme that I've been in. So PGL started a training scheme and started picking my brains, and so did Health Camp. And so did ARC, the caring institution, when I came over here. They couldn't wait to put me on more courses, but they wouldn't employ me because of the police certificate. And the police certificate shouldn't have come through from New Zealand, because that's what they said up London. When I went homeless and slept at the Fusiliers building, a mum called up and I had to go into the police station to ask if they'd give money to get me home. And they couldn't understand why the New Zealand thing had come through. Even though I'd asked for a police check, they still didn't understand. So it's like someone had a special interest in getting it put on there, which would be my life, so I take no holds there. All I'm going to say is Katrina's got a knitting machine. I remember having one of those. She slept in the same house as a gay bloke for most of the years, and she did sleep with other men. She's married Nick, who's been married before, so he's a divorcee, and they didn't get married in a church. Even if she has a second child. And I don't think the world's going to wait around for Sam to grow up old enough to lead it, and even then. I'm not quite sure what Katrina's doing. For me, it feels like she's enjoying life on all the spotlight I'm trying to gain. But then I have got the ADS movies on YouTube going, I like trains! And then that guy being run over and splat. So I have got things like that.